Hey guys, Metal Driver here bringing you another WWE Elite review. Today I'll be looking at Series 80, Bayley. Looking at the sides of the box, you see an image of Bayley on both sides. The back of the box features an image of Bayley, a brief bio, career highlights, a description of this figure, and the rest of the figures that are in this wave. Bio states from San Jose, California, height 5 feet 6 inches, finisher, arm trap, headlock driver. Career highlights include Smackdown's Women's Champion, Raw Women's Champion, and WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. The description states, she's a hugger no more. Bayley destroyed her Bayley buddies, debuted a new look and a new attitude, yet still remains your role model. Alright, now that we have looked at the box, let's go ahead and open this figure up and take a closer look at Bayley. Alright, and here's Bayley out of the packaging. But first, let's take a look at the accessories that she comes with. So she comes with a pair of interchangeable gripping hands, and then she also comes with a destroyed Bayley buddy, and the stick that she used on SmackDown to destroy the Bayley buddies. Alright, then taking a look at the head sculpt. Now this is a brand new head sculpt. This is the first Bayley figure that we're getting from her heel run with the shorter haircut. The sculpt work on the face is really good. The paint is good for the most part. The eyes look good. The eyebrows look good. There does seem to be some slight missing paint on the corner of her mouth. It's not the biggest deal in the world, although it would have been better if her whole lip was painted. But other than that, it's really good looking. The sculpt work looks just like Bayley. I think Mattel did a great job on the look of the figure. The hair looks really good. The sculpting looks really good on the hair to get that short design that she currently has. So overall, I'm really pleased with how the head sculpt turned out. Then taking a look at the body. Now she's wearing one of her newer outfits. Now I will say that I do have a gripe with the color that they chose. So on the figure, it looks yellow, whereas on the box and the episode of SmackDown in which she had this outfit where she destroyed the Bayley buddy, the color that she had was more of a gold look rather than just a straight plain yellow. At the very least, it was a shiny yellow that gave it a gold appearance. So that's a little annoying that they went with just this standard yellow color. But other than that, the paint work looks really good on the top. The line work looks really good. The lettering on Bayley looks crisp and clean. The black lines here look good. Just maybe some slight missing paint there. Maybe some slight missing paint down here. Then on the back strap, it looks pretty decent for the most part. There's just a little bit of fuzziness here on the yellow. Then looking at her tights, the paint work looks really good here. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of sloppy paint or any missing paint. There is just some fuzzy line work here, so the lines don't look crisp. Then she has a black speck on her butt cheek, so hopefully that can be scratched off. Then on the sides here, the black lines look good. The lines going across the thighs look really good. Then look at the other leg. Line work looks pretty decent. There's just a little bit of sloppiness right here on the black and a little bit on the gray. Line work looks good on this side. The gray is just the solid paint or the silver. Then looking down closer to the bottom of the knees, there is some sloppiness here, some missing paint, so that line work is not clean right there. Then there is some sloppiness on this part of the calf. However, on the other leg, it looks much better. Then the boots are a solid gold. It does have some stars here. Stars look pretty good. The laces look good, painted in this lighter gray. And the stars on the other boot look good as well. And it looks like there's this black line here on both, so I'm assuming that's supposed to be maybe the ponytail or the hair. I'm not 100% sure, but the paint is painted pretty well on that. So overall, the paintwork isn't perfect, but it's not terrible either. It does look really good, and then the head sculpt looks really good on this figure. Then before I forget, there is some skin tone painted here, right underneath the waist, so that's not done too well. They probably could have used another coat of skin tone here because you can see some of the black seeping through, so that is a bit unfortunate. Alright, then going over the articulation, so the head's on a ball joint. It can go, well, it can't look up at all. It doesn't look down either, so that's a bit odd. Her head can turn side to side, and it doesn't tilt. Shoulders have a hinge which allow it to go that high up. It can rotate all the way around. There is a bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, a swivel and hinge at the wrist. The upper diaphragm is on a ball joint, so there is articulation there. So she can crunch that far forward, that far back. She can tilt side to side, which is actually really good. And she can sort of twist. Now I will mention that the upper torso here is a bit loose. So that's kind of annoying, and I have noticed that this is an issue that I've come across with a lot of my female figures. So that's annoying. Hopefully Mattel can actually get this fixed and corrected, because it sucks that when Most of the female figures that I buy have this same issue here. She has a waist swivel, ball joints at the hips which allow the legs to go really far out. It can go that high up. She has a thigh cut, double jointed knees, a cut at the top of the boot. The ankle has a hinge to allow it to go that high up, that far down, and there is no ankle pivot. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on the new Series 80 Bayley figure? I do have some minor gripes with it. It's not a perfect figure. The paintwork on the body is for the most part good. There's just some slight sloppiness. Again, they're pretty minor. The head sculpt is really good. The corner of the mouth isn't completely painted, but again, a lot of these are just issues that you would see with any retail figure, so no figure is going to have perfect paint apps. Honestly, my biggest gripe is with the loose upper torso on the figure, and that's not really a gripe necessarily with this figure. It's more of a general issue that I have with the Mattel female figures. Seems like with most of the female figures that I have, there are a lot of loose joints, specifically on that upper body. But aside from that, I think this is a really good figure. I love the head sculpt. I think it looks exactly like how Bayley looks currently. The sculpt work is really good. I like the outfit. And I'm gonna be honest, this is actually my first Bayley figure. And the reason for that is many of the older Bayley figures just didn't have good head sculpts. I wasn't really a big fan of how they looked. But this head sculpt is really good, and for me, it's what makes this figure great. So again, aside from the minor gripes that I have, I think this figure is worth picking up, especially if you're a fan of the women's division in the WWE. You're definitely going to want to have a heel Bayley in your collection. So if you like this review, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe so you can see more WWE Elite reviews. Follow me on social media so you can keep up to date with all my wrestling figure photography. As always, stay tuned till the end to see pictures of this figure in action, and I'll see you next time.